Hi. Thank you for calling. My name's. How may I help you with your life insurance needs this evening?
Hi, my name is Branden. Can you hear me? I'm sorry. I have like bad service.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, hi. Well, my name's Branden and I saw a commercial on TV and I've just been having like a tough time like going through life. So I was just wondering like if I could talk to you guys about insurance and like how it'll work and stuff like that.
Sure. May I ask what state you're calling from?
Well, right now I'm living in California.
Great. That's.
Okay.
I'm a California specialist. That we're
Oh my gosh.
licensed
No way.
individuals.
That's so cool.
Wait.
That's so cool.
And I've got a lot of time, and I've got an awful lot of information.
Okay.
And whatever you need, I can help you as long as that narrow slice of life that has to deal with life insurance.
Okay, so just I'll tell you a little bit about myself. The whole time when I've been like going through life, like I always wanted to be a doctor, but I skipped the whole college part, so I didn't have any like student loans. So now I just have like a kind of cool job, and like I don't know, the salary's cool, but I haven't gotten too many paydays, if you know what I mean. And so I got married, and I've had two kids, and well, I haven't had two kids. I've adopted two kids, and it's just a little weird that we can all fit in the van. It's so weird. But so I was just thinking about like life insurance and how much it would cost me and stuff.
Sure. Now, have you ever called us before? And do we have information that we sent you? Or is this?
No, this is my first time because I went to call other people because I wanted to get it done tonight, and everybody's closed. So it made me sad.
They do that. Most of them are back east, too.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you're from my area, kind of.
Yeah. And what we like to do is we like to find out what you want to do. I'm going to give you some information. And what I do is I take your information and then explain what you can do, send it to you in an email or mail it out to whichever's works best. Your first name?
My name is Branden. Would you be able to give me a quote on the phone or no?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. My name is Branden, Branden.
Okay, and your last name, Brenda?
Walden, Walden.
And I have a confession to make. I'm great with insurance. I'm very patient. I know an awful lot about it, but I'm a horrible typist.
Okay.
So, if you can put up with that, I will give you all the information you need. And Brandon,
well, since we're doing confessions, since that seems like it's very, very personal, and you probably don't tell many people, I'll tell you a confession of mine. That way, we get to know each other. I'm gay. That's my confession.
And over the phone, you're very tall too. What I do is I use all the useless stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
And I throw them in the pond.
Oh, and they go in the pond. You're a pond thrower. Okay, I get you. So you didn't know. So you didn't know I was gay, or you knew I was tall in the pants.
I just hope that I don't hit the wrong button and my camera turns on, my video camera on my cell phone or on my computer here, because I'm just sitting here. I'll tell you a fib about how good looking I am, but. That doesn't come up on the application. It's got absolutely nothing to do with what you want to do. And I have I've got a lot of my clients are domestic partners, and it just unfortunately life is just so monotonous for most of us.
Yep, because I've just had a hard time going through it. Like since I've started, like I've been through like an earthquake when I was first starting out, and then my house got flooded, and I didn't get to pick up as many cards as I wanted to, and I'm just like I'm gonna lose. So I need life insurance.
Okay, what's your zip code, Brandon?
90210.
Okay, and that puts you in. You've got a Beverly Hills.
Yep, I like this. I like this confession game. You should tell me another one as we keep going. Tell me another confession. You're a bad typist. Something about your video. Something about a pond. What else you got? Because I feel like we're getting to
Well,
really know each other. And I like you. I like you.
Everything that we talk about, a lot of it is personal interpretation. I'm 55 years old. I got a lot of initials after my name. I've been doing this 18 years and did high-end financial planning and worked with people just starting off. And what I've found is that the information, I'll give you more information than I got from a fee-based financial planner 20 years ago.
Okay.
And it's all free. And what you do is you need to understand the industry, and I can do that in about 30 seconds. There's life insurance has got two types. Term coverage, that's if you die in 10, 15, or 20 years.
I hope not.
And permanent coverage, which is universal or whole life, and that's when you die.
Okay. Because I didn't want to die. I don't want to die anytime soon, but I just want to be protected. I want to finish. I want to finish before I die. You know what I mean? I want to finish everything I set out to do.
I hope I can get half the crap done that I set out to do, you know?
Yeah. Cause like I said, like I've had 2 kids, I've gotten married, and I have a van, and we went on vacation, but it's just like I want to do so much more before I die. But if I do die, before I finish, I want to make sure that everybody I've played with gets the money. You know what I mean?
There you go. Okay, now is there a good daytime or evening phone number for you?
I'll give you my cell phone since I'm calling from my house phone. I'll give you my cell phone. 818-275-6342. $818-275-6242? 6342. You were close. You were so close.
Well, I'm listening, but my fingers give me away. Now,
that's what she said.
I put everything in writing that we talked about. Do you have an email that you want to send to?
Not. I don't really check it.
Okay. What's your street address then?
52 Cauliflower Lane.
52. Cauliflowe.
You got it.
Like the Cauliflower Lane.
Lane. It's a lane. Yes.
Lane. Okay. And Beverly Hills, California.
Yep.
Okay. Your date of birth, Branden.
Okay. I don't tell them any. How old do you think I am? We'll start with that.
Well, let's see. We'll use the harder, 2 kids, a van, some life experience. It could be between 30 and 48.
I'm 45. You were so close.
Okay. And so you're going to have to give me, I can't do math backwards.
Oh, that's fine. I can't do math frontwards. I was never good in math. Oh, you didn't get my joke. Never mind. Okay, well, I was born February 23rd, 1966.
And how tall are you, Branden?
How tall am I?
Yeah.
How tall do you think I am?
5'8".
What?
5'8".
Taller. I'm taller.
6'1".
No, a tiny bit taller.
6'2".
Ah, you got it! He got it! Yay!
My goodness. And how much?
I am huge. I am huge.
What's your? How much do you weigh?
Guess how much I weigh?
250.
No, much lower.
160.
A tiny bit lower.
158.
Oh, you were so close. 155. 155. That was the last time I checked, though. So I might be 158, but I would say 155. I'm a skinny boy, skinny little boy.
The number one question that people fib on is the height-weight ratio.
Ha!
And
I would never lie about that. I have a 6-pack of chips in my stomach.
Well,
God damn it, he
and
doesn't
it's
like my
always,
jokes.
they say like 1:35, and I've gotten to the point where I try to be efficient with your time, which is efficient with my time, and I'll say, okay, now, how much do you weigh? And if they say anything heading towards heavy, I say, no, I didn't ask what you weighed in high school. What will you weigh next week? They all laugh. They always add 15 pounds.
Oh my gosh, you actually say that?
I have to.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Here.
That's funny.
Yeah, and they all laugh because it's one of those things. I'm as accurate as the information you give me. You know, you tell me what you want to do, and I make recommendations. Yeah. I'm really cheap, and you weren't born rich, were you?
No, I was a poor little bitch when I was a boy. I had to work for everything. I only started off with, what the bank would give me. You know what I mean? And I just had to earn my way from there.
Okay. Well, the reason I asked that is if you're rich, there's another speech that I give your attorney to tell you how somebody else should manage your money. But for right now, what I do is I ask that, and then it puts people, you want to be at ease so that you can find out what you can do. Now, the next question is, how much coverage would you like? That's a tricky question because you can figure, there are a bunch of different ways to figure out, and there are rules of thumb, and if you go on the internet, it'll make your head spin about all the free advice you give, but people usually do either 10 times their income, or figure out what they owe, or figure out what they can afford. And we're going to do all three.
Okay, that sounds very complicated.
No, it's easy.
Okay.
It's simple. It's not easy. How much would you pick a figure?
A lot. As much as you can fit. Because I don't think I'm going to finish anytime soon. So.
Okay. What's 10 times your income?
Let's see, 10 times my income. I think, let's see, my salary when I started, I would say 700,000.
Okay. What we'll do, we'll hit 700,000 and start there.
Okay.
And what brought you into the market to shop for insurance? Just to care for family members, or?
Well, it's pretty much for me because, to put as a metaphor, I've been playing the game with other people, and there's a lot of people ahead of me, and I've seen some pretty horrible things happen to them. So I was like, I should cover myself before I reach that point in the game where I lose the game.
This stuff is like a parachute. You got to buy it before you jump out of the plane, otherwise you can't. Nobody will sell you one.
Right, and to keep going in the metaphor, I've been coming up to this road where it's like no matter what number I spin, I'm just gonna land on some crazy shit. So I just want to make sure I'm protected.
Well, that's the if you die and when you die. It's always when you die, but we're gonna cover. Now, do you have any coverage in force now?
Let me see. I don't have any life insurance now.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. When did you last use? Do you smoke, or have you quit in the last 5 years, or?
I used to be a druggie. If that's what you mean. Okay.
Now, what they do, we have 30 different companies, and they're all very competitive. Did you quit in the last year, last 2 years, last 3 years, last 4 years, last 5 years?
Yeah, well, I would say the last 5 years is when I stopped doing cocaine. I just kind of Charlie Sheened it and just stopped.
No, I mean nicotine.
No, I've never smoked that stuff. That's disgusting.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you intend to fly as a private pilot?
No.
Last 5 years, have you been convicted of reckless driving, driving under influence, 3 or more moving violations or had your license suspended or revoked?
To the first part, I've been in trouble a lot for drinking and driving in the last couple of years.
When was the last one?
My last one was like the last time I got pulled over or convicted?
Convicted.
Convicted, then that was probably a year and a half ago.
Okay, that one we're gonna have to look at.
Okay.
Do you currently have an open
And if you're
case?
wondering why I didn't do any jail time, let's just say I sucked my way out of it. So.
Well, do you have an open bankruptcy now?
No, not yet. I was actually thinking about it like a couple times ago. Like I was thinking about doing it, but I decided not to because I didn't want the other people to win. I didn't want the man to win.
Well, it just the reason I asked the question from an insurance standpoint is if you had one open and closed and discharged, they'd write the insurance. If you had one open, they would postpone it. If you haven't opened one yet, then they'll still write it on you. That's
well, I never filed for it. I almost lost, but I came back in the end, so I didn't have to.
Oh, okay. Do you know your last blood pressure reading?
Nope.
Do you take blood pressure meds?
Nope.
Have you ever been told you have high blood pressure?
No, well, not from a doctor. From my partner, when we do stuff, he's like, "Oh my God, your blood pressure's probably really high after that," and I'm like, "No." So, yeah, I doctors never told me that. If that's what you mean.
Okay. Do you ever have it checked? Maybe like 130/80 or less?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll just put in. I don't because they base the rates upon that. Now, last cholesterol. Do you have do you take cholesterol meds, or do you know your cholesterol level?
No, I have never taken any like medicine or whatever for cholesterol or anything, and I don't remember my last reading, but I stopped taking like all types of pills and stuffs for a while ago.
Okay. Any family members, mother or father, sisters or brothers, have a heart attack or cancer before the age of 60?
No, but my mother and father both got hit by a bus on separate occasions.
Wow.
Yeah. I was just a baby, and it was a year apart. It wasn't the same bus company, but it was the same bus driver. Could you believe that?
Wow.
It was so, and I'm like, what is he doing? He shouldn't even be driving a bus. And then, do you know what happened? He was actually a bus driver. I heard I don't know, I guess he bought his way out of it. He was actually a bus driver for Extreme Maker Home Edition. When they say bus driver, move that bus, he's that guy.
Wow.
He's such an asshole, and whenever I love that show, it makes me cry. But whenever I watch it, I never tell him to move that bus because it makes me so sad because he used to move the bus and he killed my parents.
My goodness.
And it makes me so sad to think about.
Wow. That's no fun.
Nope, it's not. It's not fun.
Oh. Are you okay to go on, Branden?
Yes, I'm fine. I'll be fine.
Okay. Have you ever been diagnosed or treated for cancer, heart disease, diabetes, depression, anxiety, alcohol, or drug use?
Nope. Wait, what about the drug use? What was the last part about drugs?
Oh, have you ever been diagnosed or treated for cancer, heart disease, diabetes, depression, anxiety, alcohol, or drug use?
No. I used to do drugs, but I never got treated or caught.
Yeah, that's referring to being put in a treatment program, and then they go from if it was within a year or 5 years or something like that. But they're asking about like a program.
No, I was never treated for my cocaine problem. No, I stopped on my own.
Have you ever been rated up or declined by any life insurance company?
Nope.
how many doctors or healthcare professionals have you seen in the last 5 years?
Actually, the guy I'm playing with, he's the doctor. He actually got the doctor card, and I saw him like 2 moves ago, so it's pretty close.
Okay. Has any doctor recommended a medical test or procedure you haven't yet completed?
No, the game's kind of. I don't think the game's. That sounds too complicated for the game that I'm in at the moment. So.
Oh, well, what they're meaning? Most guys at 50 are told to have a colonoscopy, and they don't. And if you apply for coverage, and they look in the medical record and say you haven't done this test that was recommended, they postpone it. That's why they ask that question.
Okay. See, I don't think I reached that point yet in the game where I had to do that.
No.
I didn't land on that. So.
Not yet. Oh, jeez, you're gonna love this. I went in. I at 53. I went in. I changed doctors. The doctors had changed on me a couple of times, and I got this new one. And she looked in my history and she said, "You haven't had your colonoscopy yet." And before I could say a word, your little finger stuck out and hit it. She said, "That's already scheduled. You're going in, at 10:30, 3 weeks from now." She just told me. And it's the rite of passage. We all go through it. And so I ended up getting all prepped. And it was one of those that they do like a twilight. They kind of put you out. And they had given me the anesthetic, and I'm just kind of woozing. I'm almost on the way out, and the nurse looked at the chart, and she said, "Now, Mr. Freewald, sometimes we do plastic surgery in this suite, so if you wake up from your colonoscopy looking like Brad Pitt, you can thank me." I thought it was kind of cute, but my retort was, I kind of shook my head and kind of came out. It's like when you first wake up, you say, I woke up and I said, "The heck with me." I said, "Don't worry about me." I said, "Just make my wife look like Angelina Jolie, and I'll be perfectly happy." And I guess nobody had ever said that to her. She dropped the chart on the floor. She laughed so hard. She bent over, picked up the chart, and she said, "Oh, Mr. Freewald, your deductible will not cover that."
Oh, I get it. That's
just
funny.
A classic.
That's funny.
I tell you, you never know when you're going to find a little levity. Now, any other medical conditions you've had been diagnosed with in the past 12 years, like asthma, Alzheimer's, emphysema, epilepsy, cancer, anything?
Nope. I came out of the closet 12 years ago, if that counts.
Well, that's no. It doesn't. Now, within the last 7 years, they say, have you had any of the following conditions: alcohol abuse, gastric peptic ulcers, cancer, kidney stones, drug abuse, or addiction?
Yes, drug addiction. That's me. That's all me.
And that was 5 years?
5 years is when I stopped. I started when I was like 12.
Well, you had did some research, huh?
Well, because after my parents went bye-bye, I didn't have much. And then my friend's like, "Oh, you should try some Coke." And I'm like, "Coca-Cola?" And he's like, "No, cocaine." So I was like, "Okay."
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. Okay, well, we'll mark this and we'll take a look. Drug abuse, date of last. So you're not taking any. You've got no date of onset, date of last doctor. When's the last time you had a doctor? This year?
I don't even think that was a question.
No, that's it.
What?
I'm just. They have some comments here. Date of last doctor visit. I just put in 2011. Current medication for you're not on like methadone and things like that because you quit 5 years ago. So I just put the drug abuses in here. But what we'll do is we'll take a look and see what's available. No, okay, and I've got your day phone. I've got a 1-827-527-6-342-6-342. Gotta read. Okay, the instant quotes now. We'll see. Okay, they said 52 cauliflower, CAUL. Oh, let me see if I got.
This is taking longer than I thought it was gonna do.
Well, it's. I'm all ready to punch the button.
Okay.
Just, usually we just whip through, but you're. Okay.
You can do it. I have faith in you. You can do it. Please do it. I know you can do it. Come on. Come on.
Okay. The machine popped up, and it's giving me a standard rate for 700,000. If you did a 10-year level term, it's saying it'd be about $100 a month.
$100 a month. Okay. And does that stop when I stop the game?
No, what term coverage does is it's like renting. You can have inexpensive coverage for 10 years that if you check out, there's a check for your beneficiaries for 700,000.
Because between me and you, because I got a plan to kick everybody's ass. I think my game's gonna end in like a couple days between me and you.
Huh. Let me see.
Yeah, because everybody's so far ahead of me. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna come up behind and just crush the game and just be out before anybody even know it hit them.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's how
I
I
do
win.
it. 15-year level term is about 127, and a 20-year level term is about $150 a month.
Okay, because I could just pay the $150 for the month and then just finish up my game and just get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? I know.
Yeah.
That was the great sound you made. It was like frustrated, but you liked it.
I'm just thinking that, yeah. Well, let me see if we can qualify for that. I'm taking a look at the coverage, and the thing that I have a question about is with the timing and the history on the. Let me see. Here, let me look at. Like, we have so many different companies. I'm trying to find the one that will give us.
Because what happened was my friend Jared came over and he was like, "Oh, we should play the game." So I was like, "Okay," and we've been going through it, and he got his insurance on the number 3 in 2 seconds. So I was like, maybe I should get some life insurance too, and see what happens. So everybody's waiting inside, and everything's kind of on hold until I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what the requirements are, because this is let's see, standard table. Matter of Lincoln National Savings. Let me see. I'm trying to see what the requirements are as far as the active military citizenship. They don't. What I usually do to be a little bit more accurate is write down the situation and then talk to the underwriters, because you can be told a rate. I mean, everybody promises low rates, but then when it goes through underwriting, they say no. They say no, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I need like a quote or something just so we can finish up the game, because I only think the game's going to be taking like maybe 2 or 3 more days if everybody stays awake and stuff. So like I want to try and get something like just quickly, because I don't know, I landed on that I should get life insurance, so I'm trying my best.
Okay. Here we go. Let me. Oh. Well, here. These are. We just look at 30 different companies. Now I'm going to look at one to see if we can get. You must not have a history of Alzheimer's, dementia, anxiety, asthma, cancer, type 1, type 2 diabetes, Down syndrome, drug alcohol abuse within 5 years, and it's been 5 years or longer for you on that cocaine.
Yep.
Okay, so then can't have a heart attack, hepatitis C, multiple sclerosis, chronic pancreatitis, paralysis, Parkinson's disease. You must not have been convicted of a DUI or reckless driving during the past 12 months.
Damn
and must
it.
have.
I was only convicted because I rolled doubles 3 times, and then everybody around me was like, screw you, Branden, you have to go to jail. And I was like, come on, it's just a game. So I was like, you know what, I'm never playing this game again. Screw it. So I got off the cocaine, and now we're playing life.
Okay, but in the past 12 months, no DUI or reckless driving.
Well, because I mean, I went to jail twice in the game, but the first time was because I got the chance card, and then like the second time, like I was telling you, is because I rolled the 3 doubles, and I was like going around, I was gonna pass go, and then everybody around me was like, screw that, you have to go to jail. And that's when I was telling you before, I almost had to declare bankruptcy because I wasn't making any money. So then I was telling all my friends, I'm never gonna play with you guys again unless you bring a different game. So they brought over the game of life, and we playing that. So I need some life insurance, and that's where we're at.
Okay. How many moving violations have you had in the past 2 years?
Moving, like when I move my house?
No, like driving a car.
0.
Okay. And when was your last DUI?
Well, my last DUI was about 1.5 years ago. My last reckless driving thing was like 5 days ago.
Okay. So, then this one won't work for you.
Damn it. There's no life insurance for this game of life. I don't understand. It's so popular. Everybody's doing it.
Well, there is, but what happens? It just gets so darn expensive.
Mm-hmm. But
they look at the driving and the health history and the
It's just so confusing. But I just don't understand, because it's a board game, so it's just like maybe you can just call a number and get life insurance for the game, but it's not working, so I don't know what else to do.
Well, what for insurance? What amount of insurance can you afford on a monthly basis?
I don't know. Like, since we started playing at like 7 o'clock. I landed on payday like 5 times. So I'm probably not going to land for another day if we keep it at this rate. So if I was making like 35,000, I landed on 5 times. I have a lot of money, kind of, in the game. But I don't know if I can pay per month depending on how many times I land on payday.
Well, that's true. Why don't I do a what's called a quick quote? I'll talk to a couple underwriters based upon this information, and add it up for you, and then give you a call back in a couple days. And
in a couple days, the game's going to be finished. The game of life's going to be done. We're going to be tallied up, and we're going to move on to the next board game. So I don't know. Like, cause I sucked at Monopoly, and now we're playing the game of life, so I just want life insurance for my guy.
Let's
Oh my God.
Well, that's yeah. I'd hate to give you an exact quote because it.
But we don't really. We just need like an estimate because we're playing the game of life. Me and my 3 buddies, and like I was just like, let me stop so I can get some insurance. So I just need like a rough estimate so we can continue our game, our board game. So
$100 a month.
What?
How's that? $100 a month.
$100 a month. Okay. And how would I pay that to you guys? Do you guys cover the game?
Yep. You send a check. You do an automatic withdrawal.
So you guys accept life
monthly
money?
Well, we accept checks that are faxed to us, but as long as there's an account behind it.
How do you make checks in the game of life? I don't get it. How do you do checks? We didn't learn that.
Write one out.
With what? There's no bank. There's like the banker. My friend John's the banker.
Well, maybe I should talk to him.
No, because that's my life insurance. He's gonna win if you talk to him. He also has the doctor card. So he's making the most out of all of us playing. So I don't want to let him know this is my secret strategy. I'm gonna get the insurance from you guys, have life insurance, and then I'm gonna win the game of life. And then I will be the board game champion of the night.
That would work. Well, let me take this information, and I will.
Oh my God.
Have to talk to a couple underwriters with the combination because it kind of adds up.
Right. So just write down as they know that I'm looking for board game insurance for the game of life.
Well, don't get bored with the game of life.
No. Like okay, that makes sense, but just write that down, I guess, and tell everybody that when you talk to them.
Right. That'll work.
Okay, it was great speaking to you. I'm sorry that this was happening, but I don't know. I just really thought that we could get the board game insurance straightened out. I really thought.
Well, let me do some more checking for you, Branden.
Because, I mean, maybe it was like Chutes and Ladders, or, I don't know, the Clue. Do you guys cover Clue?
I used to play that I had that growing up.
Right. Yeah, that game. Do you remember the game of life?
You know, I never played that. We played Monopoly and Clue and what was the other one? I played a lot of the one with the letters. I can't think of it. Scrabble.
Yeah. So we're all playing the game of life, and we need insurance. I need an insurance for my piece. That's why I was calling this whole time, because we're playing a board game like Clue and Monopoly. We're playing the game of life, and I need insurance for my piece because the card's set to get insurance.
Well, that'll work. Okay, now the 818-275-6342, is that a good number to get back to?
Yes, that's my phone. My phone.
Okay, I'm gonna have to take another call here. I'm getting waved on, but I'll check with this and give you a call back.
Thank you very much for your help. So great.
Thanks, Branden. Have a good night. Bye now.